It's final voter registration weekend as we are heading to the provincial and national elections that will be held in the next few months, as we are still waiting for the president to announce the date of the elections. And you'll remember that the first voter registration weekend was held last year in November. And now we went to the streets, we spoke to people on the streets just to gauge their understanding about the elections. And right now we are here at IEC offices in Mahikeng. We are going to speak to Dr. Tumelo Ntletiba. She's the IEC head in the province, just to get her response from what people on the street said about the elections.
I don't know if we are voting for president or councillors. I just hear that we are heading to elections. I don't see the importance of registering to vote because those whom we elected are not doing anything for us. There is no changes.
The 2024 national and provincial elections are meant for voters to elect or choose members of parliament, 200 of whom will be those that are directly elected and 200 of whom will be drawn from the 9 provinces.
This young person is undecided about taking part in this year's elections.
I'm aware of devoting in the next few months.
I'm aware that we are going to elections in the next few months. I know that we have to vote for our president and political parties. I once voted, but now I have not registered because I don't know much about politics. It's chaos in South Africa. I don't know if I have to vote or not.
It is important to participate not only through registration, but by voting. Because now that the voter has already voted before, she is in a position to vote again because she is already in the voters' roll. However, she needs to go to the stations this weekend or immediately after the registration weekend, if she's able to go to our stations, to go and update her details on the segment of the voters' roll for our province or any other province where she will be voting.
While some have no idea about the elections and are still contemplating whether to vote or not, others understand the importance of elections.
I think it's important to vote, because if you don't vote, how will you complain because you didn't vote? If you vote, you can complain and criticize those who you have voted for. If you don't vote, how will you complain? How will you remove or change political parties if you don't vote? If you don't vote, you allow the same political parties to come back.
The system of government in our country is called democracy. In other words, it is the government of the people, for the people, by the people, and may I add, with the people. It is very important that when we elect, when we vote for members of parliament, members of provincial legislatures, we remember that these are the representatives of the people, of we the people, therefore we the government.
I think it's very imperative to make sure that you prepare on time. Like we always say, proper preparation prevent poor performance. It's very important to make sure that you prepare properly on time, you know your voting station, and you make sure that you appear in that registered list members. You make sure that whenever you get there, you don't maybe come across anything that may affect the decision that you are going to take in the ballot.
A voter can check his or her status by going to our website at www.elections.org.za, or a voter can send an SMS to the number 32810 to check his or her status. A voter can go to our stations that will be open all over the country, any station, to go check his or her status on the voters' roll.
This year's elections come at a crucial time as the country marks 30 years of democracy. More than 350 political parties have registered for this year's elections. For the first time in the history of the country, independent candidates will be allowed to contest for seats in the National Assembly and provincial legislatures. Thabiso Moss, SABC News, Mahikeng.